welcome back for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around, we're going to be talking about the 2007 film, The Brave One, starring Jodie Foster. So, this movie stars Jodie Foster as Erica Bain, Terrence Howard as Detective Mercer, Nikki Katt as Detective Vitale, Naveen Andrews as David Kermani, Mary Steenburgen as Carol, Luis da Silva Jr. as Lee, Zoe Kravitz as Chloe, and that's pretty much the extent of the well-known and important characters/actors in this one. So this movie, The Brave One, I really enjoy this movie because I feel like it's a story that could happen to almost any one of us. You know, it's a very, even though it's a fictional story, it didn't actually happen. I'm saying you feel like something like this could happen. So Erica Bain is living in New York City with her fiance David, and right off the bat, from the beginning of this movie, probably like 10-15 minutes into the movie, they are brutally attacked in Central Park under a bridge at night by a gang of street thugs who want to rob them and put on a show. Basically, they record the whole thing. It's fun for them. They're a bunch of animals. It starts off basically like they have a hold of their dog because the dog ran under the bridge first. Then they try to get the dog back. When they won't get the dog back, they say, well, we'll give him back. What are you going to give us in return? And they go to give him everything. But then one of them grabs Erica and in defense, David punches him. And that starts the whole brutal attack. And it's no secret you're going to learn this, like I said, 10-15 minutes into the movie. Unfortunately, David dies in the attack. Erica barely survives. I think they said she spent like 3 weeks in the hospital. Maybe even 3 months. I can't remember exactly. But it was a long time she spent in the hospital recovering from this. And at first, she is terrified to even venture out of her apartment. But she finds the courage to, the bravery, becomes the brave one, finds the courage to go outside of her apartment. And part of that is that, she decides to buy a gun to defend herself with. No, she never had any real plans to use it. But basically, not long after she buys it, she's in a convenience store late at night when I don't know if it's just an employee, if it's an owner, it's both, but the lady working behind the register, her husband, comes in and shoots her in a domestic dispute. Now, he didn't at first realize Erica was there, but Erica's cell phone went off, and he realized somebody was there. Well, as he was looking for her in the aisle, she maneuvered around the other side of him, and threw some glass bottles on a shelf. She shot and killed him. And that just kind of started the whole role of vigilantism. She wasn't necessarily going out and looking for it, but if she found the chance or found the opportunity, she would exact justice against those wrongdoers. The next one, she's on a subway train when two gangsters, try to rough up and rob a bunch of people on the train, and she wouldn't stand for it, and she shoots and kills them. And on it goes throughout until she gets to the final climax, where she goes up against the man who killed her fiance and left her for dead. Like I said, it feels like one of those, movies, where something traumatic, violent even happens to us. And, a lot of us just would, like Erica at first, would shy away from the world. Obviously, you're never the same. Erica even says in the movie that she feels like a stranger. She doesn't know who she is anymore. And that's before the vigilantism. And the vigilantism kind of makes her feel whole again in a way. And through this, she develops a bond with Detective Mercer, played by Terrence Howard. She kind of confides in him without actually confessing. And he kind of eventually catches on that she is the vigilante killer, as the news has dubbed her, that he's been looking for. So, it's this whole kind of cat and mouse game once he figures that out, trying to catch her in the act and find that evidence to put her away. Or not, as you will find out at the end of the film what his decision is. But like I said, yeah, you just feel like, obviously most people in this situation wouldn't snap and resort to vigilantism. I'm just saying, it could happen to any one of us, where we have this random violent act against us. This horrible crime that's been committed. Instead of hiding and cowering or, struggling to go through your daily life again, you decide to stand up, do something about it. So in that way, I feel this movie is very real. And Jodie Foster does a phenomenal job as Erica Bain, who is a very complex character, because at the beginning she's a radio DJ, by the way, or a radio talk show host. I don't know what the correct term is. She's very happy in her job. She's happy in her life with David. She's looking forward to getting married to him, starting a family. They have a dog together. And, it quickly flips to, she's the scared victim to she's this, brave warrior, basically. It's a very a character with a very wide range of emotions and very complex character. And she absolutely nails it, in my opinion. So, if this sounds like a movie that interests you, I highly recommend The Brave One. You will not be disappointed there, folks. Feel free, if you enjoy the video, to click that thumbs up, leave a like down below. As always, feel free to leave a comment down below in the comments section. And if you really enjoy my channel, please subscribe, okay? I would greatly appreciate it. You take care of yourselves, folks, and we'll catch you next week for another episode.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.